The rate of COVID-19 vaccines continue to rise in Puerto Rico, which is great news. And now the island has one of the higher numbers of vaccinated citizens among all U.S. jurisdictions. Our Kristen Ramos has this next report.
Almost 9 months after the first COVID-19 vaccine was administered in Puerto Rico, the island became the third U.S. jurisdiction with the highest vaccination rate according to the local Department of Health. Iris Cardona, Chief Medical Officer of the government, explained that 77.3% of the eligible population is already vaccinated. As stated by the CDC, Puerto Rico has a vaccination rate of 140,066 doses administered per 100,000 people. Also, the island has the second higher percentage in the U.S. of people of 12 years and older with at least one dose of the vaccine. Last month, the island was among the last positions of the first 10 jurisdictions with the highest levels of vaccination, but Cardona assured that as the Delta variant of COVID-19, which is more lethal and contagious, continues to spread in Puerto Rico, more people rush to be vaccinated, what led the island to one of the first positions. Right now, the U.S. jurisdiction with the highest vaccination rate is the Republic of Palau, followed by the state of Vermont. Reporting from San Juan, Puerto Rico, Cristian Ramos.
All right, thanks, Christian. Well, meantime, Grenadas Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell is adamant that his government will not be mandating COVID vaccinations, but says it's up to businesses in the private sector to mandate that for their own employees. He said he is not convinced that forcing the general population to get the jab is the right way to go. Mitchell said going that route could lead to more resistance than acceptance, and therefore suggested that it was better to use moral suasion to get people immunized. Questioned during an interview on a local show, Mikey Live, about mandatory vaccines in the private sector, the Grenadian leader said individual businesses had to make their own decisions on that. He said he could not fault those that require workers to take the vaccine to protect their clientele.
If I have a business and I know there is a serious virus around that people can carry, and I would insist that those who come around in the business will not infect innocent people, because it can be proven, If I can prove my coming into your business for service, that you allow people to infect me, I can sue you. So let's accept this, and it is well known. Everyone has a right to decide what is best for him. So someone decided do not want to vaccinate. But the businessman decided I don't want you to infect my people and cause them death, and then I have to pay millions of dollars or whatever it is. So these are your rights end with my life, where my life starts.
And Prime Minister Mitchell said that since the surge in COVID-19 cases over the past few weeks, with positive cases increasing from 5 on the 17th to over 1,900 on September 11th, there has been an uptick in vaccinations. And the NFL kicked off its second season during a pandemic, but this year it's different. The league is expecting stadiums full of fans, and that's what we saw over the weekend. While teams are working to keep spectators safe, there are things fans can do to stay safe. Mandy Gaither explains.
Football is back. College to the NFL. This year's stadium's expected to be filled despite the COVID-19 pandemic.
I don't think it's smart.
Dr. Anthony Fauci says crowded outdoor games can put people at risk.
I've had my shot, and everybody I know have had their shot. I'm encouraging people to get their shot.
Each NFL team has worked to set their own health and safety protocols. Some have no requirements for fans. Others, like these 11 teams, require masks to be worn outdoors and indoors during the game. 3 teams require a negative COVID-19 test or vaccinations for fans 12 and older. The Las Vegas Raiders remain the only team to require fans 12 and above to be vaccinated in order to attend home games.
Outdoors is always better than indoors, but even when you have such a congregate setting of people close together, first you should be vaccinated. And when you do have congregate settings, particularly indoors, you should be wearing a mask.
This week in North Carolina, health officials announced 45% of all COVID-19 clusters in middle and high school since July have been among sports teams. Dr. Fauci said he thinks there will be more vaccination mandates to come.
The rule is going to be if you want to participate, you get vaccinated.
And the National Hurricane Center has issued a hurricane watch for the coast of Texas as Tropical Storm Nicholas approaches. The city of Corpus Christi's Emergency Operations Center is organizing sandbag giveaways to help coastal residents prepare. The hurricane watch extends along the coast of Texas, on the Gulf Coast that is. The current forecast calls for peak sustained winds of 65 miles an hour into Monday night. According to Corpus Christi police, more deaths are caused by flooding every year than any other thunderstorm hazard. And attorneys for a woman who has accused Prince Andrew of sexually abusing her when she was a teenager said he has been served with a federal lawsuit. An affidavit filed Friday in New York's Southern District, where Virginia Guffrey filed the suit last month, said the Duke of York was served August 27th at his home, the Royal Lodge in Windsor. Guffrey's lawsuit accuses Prince Andrew of sexually assaulting her on multiple occasions when she was under the age of 18. Guffrey says the abuse took place at Jeffrey Epstein's New York mansion and at his private island in the U.S., Virgin Islands. Another sexual assault allegedly took place at the London home of Epstein's friend, Ghislaine Maxwell. Maxwell has pleaded not guilty to sex trafficking charges in New York, where she faces trial in November. Jeffrey Epstein died by suicide at a federal jail in 2019, 1 month after he was arrested on sex trafficking charges. Now, Prince Andrew's representatives said Monday they had no comment, but the prince has repeatedly denied any wrongdoing. He also told the BBC in a 2019 interview that he couldn't recall meeting Guffrey. A court hearing is expected to take place on Monday.